I'm literally going crazy. Look, the same bag that's been there all summer. I have such a dilemma. I know I want this tunnel that Gary built, but here's my problem. And this is a big problem. We have a lot of wildlife that comes through here and eats everything. Birds, rodents, everything. It's going to be a complete battle. Yes, I'm going to get the occasional cucumbers. I've got one there. There's more on the other side. I just walked over. Here's more starting, more flowers. See, I've got cucumbers coming up there. There's another one, little curly Q there. There's another one back here. And they keep growing. They're all through here, and I keep picking. I picked some yesterday. But realistically, the more I step back and look at this, as much as I love this tunnel, there's too many issues. Now I'm going to step in here for a second just to explain something. The tunnel is not a chair garden. It's not a raised bed. And I will explain further on in this video, if you stick around, why it doesn't work the same as my chair gardens. But my chair gardens work fantastic, and this one has too many issues, and that's why I have to really do a double take on what and how I want to grow with that tunnel. But we'll get back to that in a few moments, and when we're done with our discussion, Gary and I. Gary's got water that comes when it rains, that comes down the hillside through the driveway and goes here and then waters all these plants. That's why everything is growing so beautiful here. So here is the issue. If I keep this and I want to garden next spring, even in the winter, it doesn't matter. Whenever I'm gardening, it's going to be always an uphill battle. Always, always, always. If I let him take it, and he said he will take it in a minute, he's got a place to put it, and put 2 dog kennels here and cover it up like I did the other one, and we'll get into details soon how I did it, I will have minimal hair pulling moments of what am I going to do next to get rid of this, to get rid of that. And I think for that is a reason I'm getting very close to letting him take this. This is just from some vertical blinds we had. We stuck it in here for fun. It's not doing anything. Just kind of playing around to think you can create shade. I'm talking. You can come over here, Gary. You know what this would be? Again, you could plant flowers and make it a hummingbird haven, but I like the hummingbirds where they are. And this, you would put 2 of those together, correct?
Even have them separate.
You could have them separate. Well,
one a greenhouse, one a grow house. You got a couple of options with 2 of those.
Yeah, but I was thinking if you took those 2 panels on the back, on each one,
and you'd extend it.
Extend it. That is true, but do I need a greenhouse? We don't need a greenhouse in the summer.
No.
You would have it 20 foot long. That is, you know what? No, because even if I bought one right now, I don't have a place to put it because I'm not going to have you build all this because this is the drainage for the rain.
My thoughts are, I pop this down, just easy, and take it down in my garden or down in near my garden and pop it back.
I feel so bad because I actually like it. And I did come late in the season, kind of. But here's the thing, what you're growing, I don't want fig leaf gourd. I don't want Malabar spinach. I don't want passion fruit. I want all kinds of squash. And the problem with planting all kinds of squash and cucumbers, here, the multiple problem is it's not just us that likes them, and it's not just rodents that like them, but you've got hundreds and hundreds of goldfinches that live here that also eat the green leaves. So I'm losing the foliage as well as the fruit. And I can do it, but it's going to be every day coming out here knowing that something's missing. With a greenhouse or a kennel, not a greenhouse, but a dog kennel, I could cover it where there won't be any insects. It'll never, nothing's 100%, and that's okay. But this is everything. This is just open to everything. And I want to be able to have someplace I know that I can even start seedlings and not have to worry about making, I don't mind making tool tops. I make it all over. But if I'm growing squash, I want it to grow big. Boy, I'm telling you, anybody, if I lived in an area where there was squash bugs, any of those squash bugs, there's 2 different types. One of them burrow underground in the winter and you can't use the soil. I would just, without hesitating at all, I would put up a dog kennel, if not 2. and make my own compost bin in there, kitchen scraps, everything, because you can bring in your earthworms and the microbes will come in on their own, and you will know your soil is 100% clean from squash bugs. They can't get through. And you would be able to grow all the zucchini and squash you want. But we don't have that. But we do have aphids. We do have grasshoppers. That will keep grasshoppers. What else do we have here? Besides rodents, anything going in there will have to be hand pollinated, which is not an issue. Because this year there weren't as many bees. You noticed that too, right?
Yeah, there wasn't as many bees and other insects.
It was different this year. We seem like we have an explosion of rodents, but less insects. The birds might be eating a lot of insects too.
Well, the warblers, we don't have as many warblers or wrens.
That's true.
Is, you know, that's what they eat. So if there's no food here, there's no reason to hang around. So that's a good indication that there's no insects, or a lower number of insects.
Well, I can create more bins for insects eaters. I've already created a couple of them. But, boy, my big dilemma right now, and this is why I'm agonizing over this, is I have never seen those dog kennels at $219, let's say $220. And that is so cheap. Now, yes, you still have to buy the wire. I forgot what the wire cost. It was like $60. Now, you didn't use the whole roll.
No, that's 8, 16, 20, is that like 24 feet?
So yeah, 24 feet. And then the top, I'm definitely going to tool it in black tulle. That's the way I'm going to do that. So it cost me $220, and then I'll have to get a roll of wire. Now, if people aren't dealing with rodents and somebody had just dog problems or cats getting in. So many people tell me they have cats digging in their garden, and that's the last thing you want to eat if you want to grow carrots and radishes and all that stuff. You won't have that, but I want to get rid of a lot of stuff. I want to have one free zone that I can just know that I can start seedlings right now and not even think about it. Just boom. Take a dishpan, throw some seeds in there, walk away. Don't have to think about anything. And I'd be able to grow so much more seedlings outside. You keep some watering cans in there, though I do have a hose back there. You know, I think I'm talking myself into it. What do you have to say? You're looking.
I think so. And the pavers, get some pavers.
The pavers, yeah, some people have cement. We don't. I could go straight on the ground, but then I'm going to have squirrels digging in. I could bury the wire, but the pavers worked out really good. And those were how much? Less than $1 a piece?
No, they're about $1.65 or something.
For those?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
1 foot, which is this.
So either cement or pavers, but you're saying pavers because it could be moved at any moment.
Pavers make it mobile. Concrete makes it permanent. So it depends on what solution you want. If it's a permanent spot, go with a slab of concrete because that is going to be cheaper. But the pavers are going to make it more portable, and it's less work too because you can lift a paver, a slab of concrete, you have to mix it, and that's a lot of labour.
See, by getting rid of that, everything there, that clears up your driveway. And then somewhere around here, I think I'll stop and leave all that. I can actually move a lot of the totes that are there and put them in there. I've got other totes I want to put in there. This I don't mind. The hose easily stretches to here without a problem. I don't need to go all the way there because I think at some point I want a fence, because I want to bring a fence around here that makes it coyote proof. Because right now we're open to coyotes. I think I've talked myself into it. You know, I keep talking myself into keeping. This is how Gary and I talk every day. Every day I come out here and talk myself into keeping it. But realistically, I think what's going to happen in the spring, as soon as I start setting up these totes, I'm just going to come in and think, great, everything I planted is gone. You think there's a way to fix that? There's no way to fix that, is there?
Right now, this is a bad rodent year, and like you've spoken to a lot of people everywhere you go, and this needs to be out in the open more somewhere. have to make it harder for them to get to it.
I think a place that I know that I can plant something and not have to think, oh, I've got to protect it. I still protect things. I will always protect things. I love my tulle tops when I do. I've got cabbage right now growing and stuff. But I think I'm just looking at this and I absolutely love it. I've thought of different things of doing it. I actually asked somebody how much it would cost to turn it into a greenhouse or cover the whole thing. Not Gary, because it's too much work. And you're looking at thousands. It's ridiculous. Thousands of dollars to cover this? When I can have this, and if I wanted to move it, take it with me, move it in another part of the yard, give it away, you've got something that's going to really last forever. What do you think? Seriously, what do you think?
No, I think yes.
And yes means?
Go for it, and I'll take that down into near my garden.
And you're literally going to drag it down the hill? You seriously?
It's light. It's easy to move.
I feel so bad.
Look, you're overthinking this because I know how much work went into it, and I know how much work it'll take to disassemble it. So I don't have a problem with it.
Seriously, you don't have a problem?
No.
Oh, there's a hummingbird. Let me see if I can get the hummingbird real quick. He's eating this. I was going to move the hummingbird lunch until I found out. Oh, he just took off. They really do use that. I'll leave this here knowing that it's a little bit shaded from the gazebo and I can grow lettuce and stuff here perfectly. I can start seeds in there. There's a lot of stuff I can do. For now, I'm going to leave this. It's all set up. I like it. I like the way that's set up with potatoes and stuff. Now I'll have a tunnel here, another tunnel, but this time it will be completely covered and I can stand in it. Oh my gosh. This is the way I do things. I literally agonize and agonize. This is the problem. And I look at this. I just set these up, which is fine. This soil is great. I can use this.
I just thought of something else.
Uh-oh. Carrie thought of something else.
With two of these, you could have it. If you join two of these together, you'll have a door either end. That might be useful to you too.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah. I kind of knew that, but I was thinking on the end I might put some totes on the ground and actually just grow squash. Okay. Big totes. That's what I was thinking. Because this way when I walk through, I don't have to bump into anything and I won't have to overcrowd it because I'll have so much room. But that is true. I might decide, why don't we put the door on the end, though the door is the hardest part to cover, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of little detail you have to work on.
Yeah, but that was kind of my thought, that I'll always enter this the way I'm looking at it, from this way, because this is where the hose is. And I may have to get another metal hose to make sure it goes in, but I probably will have more watering cans than anything set up better. But this is just sad. This is all my melons that I planted. I love this. That's why the cucumbers are growing, because of the pitcher that's in there. But I look at this, and as much as I love goldfinches, I will still plant squash. But I'm going to do it along the wall and do it there, zucchini and stuff. But I want some that I know that is... Okay, there's a melon trying to grow. It's not going to grow now. We're too late in the season. This is a watermelon plant, though it didn't really chew up the watermelon. It was too cold for the watermelon. I need to stop this unless I want to grow only Malabar spinach. Nothing wants to eat it. Not even me. I do use it, but not that often. I know I was trying to think of maybe putting it on the inside, but then you put a dog kennel on the inside and you start to grow on the outside. You created a haven for rodents to come in, and then they're going to try their hardest to get inside. I think I'd be better off by using the darker tarps that come with it, or any tarp on the top for the summer, and be more open. I don't know. Anyways, this is our morning this morning. I think I'm getting really close. I mean, I'm growing stuff, but I'm growing pepinos. Nothing eats pepinos except for my fruit. Then the rodents come and take the pepinos away. And then I've got my beautiful purple kale, and you know, that works out. And I've got broccoli growing. I want to move that, and onions and stuff. But I want to grow more squash. And I look at this and I know that I've lost probably 10 squash on this. Look at this one, 10 squash on this. Korean melons, I want to do Korean melons on the wall. That would be the best thing to do because they need a lot of warmth, like your cantaloupe, your watermelon. It's too open, and look at this. It's all foggy and cold, and we had a lot of summer mornings like this. But the cucumbers did really well. I have no complaints on that. But I can grow cucumbers down there against the wall. I've grown a ton of them. I just didn't plant any there. Like I said, I picked a bunch yesterday. I made a cucumber salad. I'm going to make a cucumber drink this morning. But again, if you look, even the leaves are just, they're all chewed up from birds and rodents too. Oh, he's out measuring. Look at this. He's actually thinking of getting one for himself and making a real, here I can hold it, making a greenhouse in his yard. Here. To here?
Yeah.
So how long is it exactly?
Just under 8 feet.
Okay, so it's approximately 8 foot. Wait a minute, you'd have to put the door on the other side, wouldn't you? Because you're going to use the two, if you put two together, you're going to use the 2 back panels for each one. Oh, you'd have to put the door, you don't have a choice.
The door only comes up to here. And this sits on top.
The problem is you'll have a space in the middle where you don't have a bar, so you might have to fold something over that. You'll have 2 tarps that will go on with a 2-foot space, or you put the space on the end. The panels can go anywhere, correct?
Yeah.
And you can have flat, where you know you can't stand on the end.
Yeah, and it'll be 4 foot because it'll be a panel.
Right, but you can make it on the end where it's flat. Just put a piece of anything on the top, piece of fiberglass, tarp.
Between the arches, like 4 feet. So,
That's not what I'm saying.
um,
The tarp will only fit a certain way.
yeah, the top, yes.
That's the way I'm looking at. So if you wanted to put the 2 tarps on here, which I think would be fine, you'd want to take those 2 extra panels and put them on the end. It won't be tarped, but you can cover it with anything, even if it's just wire.
Yeah.
I won't stand under it, but that was what I was saying. On the end, I might be able to put one of these totes or 2 of them and have it right on the ground or on a chair and growing in there, but I don't have to walk to the end because I'm going right up to the totes. So I could put 2 chairs this way, have 2 large totes there, and the end, you just put anything flat on top to cover it. It could be wire, it could be open. I'm not looking for a greenhouse per se. I'm just looking for a place where I'm not going to have any rodents, no squirrels, no rabbits. They got plenty to eat, the rabbits. And know that I have a place that's going to be safe. If something snuck in, it snuck in. You're dealing with one. But right now we're dealing with hillsides of animals that are coming in here because they're coming everywhere. It's not just us. I've got people that have no plants and they're not growing a garden and they're decimating rodents. They're regular plants that are growing around in their landscape. All right. So have we made a decision, or we're going to go back in and have another cup of coffee and talk about it? I don't know. What do you think? Do you think this is going to be a battle for me? Is there a way to fix this?
No, not easily. Not easily. If you want to grow this way, this needs to be way out in the open. So for something to get to it, they have to take the risk.
All right. Then as it stands now, unless I change my mind again, and I don't know if I will, 1 or 2 dog kennels? You think one's enough, or do you think that will give me a lot of space too?
I don't know what you intend on growing, but
I want to grow a ton of zucchini because I grew.
well, 2.
I use zucchini more than anything. I've got shark fin melon growing in the truck bed I don't even use. I still can taste it, and there's something about it that I don't like.
Because zucchini takes up so much space when it really does
Takes
well,
off.
I would say 2.
And then there'll be other things besides zucchini. I want to grow bok choy. I want to grow lettuce all summer because I've done it. I want to grow a lot of different things. I want to grow, well, I don't have too many problems with herbs, but I want to grow melons. I should be able to grow melons here. Even tomatoes, though I didn't have too many problems with tomatoes. They don't really bother it too much. There's a lot of stuff I want to grow, even maybe stuff I've never grown before. Different types of squash, different types of cucumbers, and they do love the cucumber leaves, all the critters, because they eat that too. There must be edible cucumber leaves because they eat that too. Well, anyways, that's our brainstorming. I think this is going to go, because I don't think logically whether I grow here, and then once I start growing in here, here's the issue. This is just a haven. At that point, when this is covered, if it does get covered in any way, they'll be able to come under here and just hang out when nobody's around, rodents and stuff. Sure, I could put the other logical thing would be to fence this yard and get a dog, or one of Gary's, which will never stay here because they want to follow him everywhere, and a dog sit in here. But then I've got to get a big dog, because I'm using the dog for farming, and I don't want to do that, but it would have to be a dog living here like my neighbor's got, who's got a shepherd outside at all times, and then they'll chase everything off. That's not going to stop things that are going to fly in. It won't stop birds from eating everything. All right, well, now you know how Gary and I brainstorm. Do you have anything else to say? This is not a video for all, because most people would watch this and just say, oh, I'm done with this, because you haven't learned anything. But I want to have a place. I don't want to use the word successful. I want to have a place that I know that I can come out and know I can even put a chair in there, which I'm going to, a little stool, and be able to come out there and go through my stuff and get seedlings growing. I do it in the house, and then I have seedlings out. I had seedlings in a lot of these, the first 3 totes, and a lot of them got eaten. I had more cucumbers, and then all of a sudden I came out and the whole plant was gone. And you can cover it to a point, but anything vining, then you've got to get creative and start grabbing the fruit. I had to even cover for a while the plant itself, but zucchini wants to get big, and I would have to do that completely different. This way it's all in one place and it's all covered. All right, anyways, that's us talking. I should get that one in, because I brought one in yesterday. It was a little bit bitter, because I waited till it was way too big. Get this off. I might come back and cut it. Let me see. Got it. And just put your finger there. Push. That's a beautiful one. I'll make another cucumber salad with that. Isn't that gorgeous? And then I'll use that tool and cover up maybe this one that's growing. And this will get a better chance growing now that this is not pulling anymore. So you really want to pick them as small as possible. Oh, I could pickle it, because I have another one in the house. All right, that's us. What am I going to do? So with that, have a wonderful day. Don't forget to eat what you grow, and that's the whole thing. I want to have certain foods that I want to eat and have more control of, and I think that's going to be the answer. Wave goodbye. Bye. I just feel bad, because all that work you put in, and it looks beautiful, but I don't know how I'm going to grow anything on it. I'll have bare spots. It'll never be full unless I grow something that the birds and the animals don't like. And that deceives everything I want to do for myself here. Oh well, bye-bye. Have a wonderful day, and don't forget to eat what you grow. Sorry if this is boring, but this is the way we talk about things and then decide. Bye-bye. So I'll briefly explain why I like the chair gardens. A chair set up with a tote is an individual raised bed. So with that, I have full control. I can easily put the irrigation tubing up like I do, and then I can cover it with tulle. That will keep critters out, insects out, whatever I'm trying to control. With the tunnel that I've got there, and the chairs lined up, all connected by that top wire, I would have to cover the entire tunnel with tulle. And that's impossible. It would just be too hard. But when you're doing a chair garden or something like that, you are working with an individual small raised bed. You have control, not critters have control. And that's why it works different, where I can have my chair garden in the same place out in the open like that with all the animals there. I can control it in various ways that will work to keep them out. With the kennel, That's a new experiment that I think is going to be really cool. And I think it's going to be fantastic where I'll be able to just step back and not even think about covering it once it's done. And you'll watch it be done. And then you can judge, will this work for you? Is this the answer to your issues? I'm excited. I love trying new things.